Welcome back, everyone. This is Mighty Scon, and we are on Feed the Beast Revelation, episode 11. And today, just go over the changes real quick since the last episode. I added looting to my sword. So we have looting 1, and we have immersive engineering manual. So I actually got into a little bit of immersive engineering. I found a village, and I wanted to trade with them, and I wound up getting 23 emeralds from them. The village, if I look on my mini map and I zoom out here to daytime, is right there. So I'm right here, kind of the top center, and the village is just below the crags, so just south of the crags biome. So with that, I was able to trade wheat and pork chops, and also treated sticks. So here's some leftover treated sticks. They are somewhere in here. Oh, right there. So treated sticks from immersive engineering, which all that is just creosote and some logs. I'm sorry, creosote and planks. You can get sticks, and I needed to do this anyways because eventually we will need coal coke. So that's kind of a beginner's step to immersive engineering. And another thing, I set up the drawers, so I'm starting to sort of organize a little bit. I think I might make the drawers all the way out to here, and then move my crates somewhere else. And then I also, it's dark right now, but that's alright. I also move the tree farm. So the tree farm is here. I finally moved it. I just set it up like this. It's very similar to the setup we had before, just a little more, I guess, neat looking. And we still have the same power generation and the same machines. We also have the redstone furnace converting logs into charcoal, which I have a lot of charcoal now, so I don't need to do any more charcoal. And let's kill this guy real quick. Okay, so today's agenda. So we got through just about everything we needed to get through to get to the nether. So today's agenda will actually take us into the nether. So we will be able to get to the nether today and hopefully get some stuff that we need for that. And I also went ahead and separated out mob drops from plant-based stuff in an attempt to try to organize this a little bit better. So what do we want to do today? We want to get into the RF tools builder and the pump card. So the builder from RF tools is like an all-in-one, does everything block, and this is not a very expensive thing to build. It's the cards that come with it that are expensive. So here are the RF tool cards. You start with the shape card, and then we progress up to, you can do a quarry card with silk touch, quarry card with fortune. I think the quarry card with silk touch is expensive. It requires a nether star, so we won't get there anytime soon. But we can build a simple pump card, which is just some buckets, the shape card, and some redstone. So let's get to building these two things. And I definitely have some ender pearls, which is what I was saving up them for. So we only need one. And we can make our builder. And I will need some bricks. So let's get 16 clay, which I'm getting low on clay. But that's okay, I can actually go dig some up very close by. And I found a lot underground, so just going underground you can find quite a bit of clay. So this will take a few minutes, so I will let this smelt up and I will be right back. Okay, we are back and I do have the bricks, and I already made the brick blocks, and we have the ender pearls. We just need redstone and the machine frame, which we can make all that here now. So let's make the machine frame, and then that's the wrong item. A lot of these RF tools machines look exactly the same. And I made 2 extra bricks because we will need that for the card. So the shape card requires 2 bricks and some paper and redstone and iron. And then we convert the shape card into a pump. Just a regular pump card. And so I need to get some water and some lava. So I'll just grab lava out of here. And the goal is with this is to actually, I could probably just grab it from here. The goal is to actually get a good amount of lava so we can make our obsidian, and the process will be to make just a large amount of obsidian. There's a couple of ways we can do this, and I'll show you both ways that are really good early game. So let's first make our pump card, which there we go. And the pump card is there's 2 different cards. One will replace liquids with dirt, and so that's the one we start with. And another one will actually clear the liquids out. So there's a clearing pump, and we just surround the pump card with glass. So for lava, in the current realm we're in, I usually like to go with this one because I like to clear out stuff. But it's easy to switch. We can just put dirt, and then we can actually just change it back if we want to. So it's not like it's a permanent thing. So we now have a way to get lava, and what we're going to need to get is a drum. And actually this does take power. So we will need to have a transportable power source, which will most likely be an energy cell. So I'm going to actually build that here in a second. And we will need a drum. So let me show you the drum first. The drum consists of, there's several different kinds of drums. So there's actually a stone one. This holds 16 buckets, but then there's an iron one. This holds quite a few buckets. I'm not exactly sure what that number is. I think it's somewhere in the hundreds. So let's make this drum, which just requires a lot of iron. There we go. And now I make the iron drums because they are upgradable to the reinforced large drum. It takes diamonds, and this is kind of a later game item. And then you can actually make that even bigger with this demonically gargantuan drum. and it takes these Klein bottles and demon ingots. These actually aren't that hard to make. I can show you how to make these once we go to the nether. But these require 2 ender pearls per. So we get into even more stuff. But these drums will actually hold thousands of buckets. So they are definitely handy when you're trying to remotely grab some liquids. And what I'm going to do now is we'll come back and make these other things, but what I'm going to do now is off camera just craft a energy cell, which you've seen me craft before. I'm actually going to upgrade it to another tier, but I can show you that whenever I make the energy cell. Alright, so I will be back. Okay, I am back, and I made a hardened upgrade kit, which you can directly apply to our energy cell. This thing is just collecting energy from the cell below it. So we upgrade it, and we now have the ability to store 8,000 RF. We probably don't need that much. The pump card does not use up that. It's 300 RF per block. And so I'm not going to mine up, like the nether. I'm not going to use this to clear out the nether. But I will use this to just get some pools of lava, and we'll be able to have enough to use on the machines to make the obsidian we need. So I'm going to let this fill up enough, and then probably about half full, and then I'm going to go look for some lava, and I'll come back and then I'll show you how this simple machine can do a lot more, and how we can use this to do anything we really want for the rest of the game. But I will be back in a minute. Okay, we are down in the mining world now, and there's my portal, and I've come across some lava. So I wanted to demonstrate the pump by the builder, and how the pump works with it. So what I've done is you put it inside, and you can set it to any one of these corners. So I try to put it on this northwest corner of what I'm going to do. So you can do this. You can just say click here, and you set it to the northwest corner. And you can also click on the preview mode, and it'll show you what it's going to pick up. Another way is you can shift click. So you get your card, you shift click on the builder you want to tie it to, and then you click on the first corner. So let's say this is my first corner, and then you can dig a hole. Like you have to go to the exact opposite corner, so we can see that it's over here, and on my mini map it looks like this is about where that pool of lava ends, but I might just dig down a little more, and so we'll say it ends here. So we now have 3 dimensions. We have the y-axis, the z-axis, and then we have the z-axis, and then we have the y-axis, which is down, and the x-axis. So we have all 3 axes that we have inside of it. And if we look at our card, let's get back up here. Look at our card, we can see that it measures the dimensions. So it measures how big the shape is, and also the offset of the shape. So it kind of does it automatically. And I use this mode where I actually go dig to the spot I want to go to clear out. I use this more often than I do actually just clicking. So you can actually right click on the block, and you can actually type in some information. So we can say, let's just make this 10 maybe, and let's go down a few more blocks. So we'll say 8. Then you have to offset it. So we'll say this is 5, and then -4. So you're trying to make these half of what these are. And so this 23 is fine. So 23 would be the z-axis. So here's the z-axis. And so it's I believe it's just X, Y, Z, which corresponds to the movement in Minecraft. So X, which is left and right, Y, which is forward, and actually I guess X would be east and west, not just left and right. And then you have your Z, and then your Y would be down. So we have our module installed. Now I have preview enabled. It won't show it, but I can click this. Then we can see if it'll show it then. No, it probably won't show it because it's actually underneath the blocks. And so there's blocks already on it. But what we can do is we can set it up. Let's just set it up and run it, and then we'll see. So I'm going to put this on top. So I think this thing requires it to be either the top or the bottom. So whatever it's doing. So if it's pumping out lava, you need a drum or a tank on top or the bottom. Or if you're actually doing in quarry mode, where it's actually breaking the blocks and getting the blocks for you, then you're going to need some kind of storage chest on top or bottom. And then it needs power, and it also needs a lever, which I don't have on me. I need to go get a lever. So I will get the lever and come right back. Okay, so I am back and I have my lever, and so I can just drop it on here. Let's just run it and then we'll see how it works. So there you go. We're getting lava. This thing only holds 256 buckets, so we can see that we are fastly approaching that limit. So it works really fast, and we're using up a decent amount of our storage cell here. Did we hit a cap here? This thing works so fast that I think some of these blocks aren't being sucked up, I don't think. Are we done? Says, yeah, it's done. So we've pumped up all the lava in this three-dimensional area. Are these still blocks? Yeah, they are still blocks. That's weird. So it's almost like it just went so fast. I'll run it again. Yeah, so you can run it again. There's actually a mode where you can continuously loop through it. Yeah, okay, so it's getting more now. So you may have to run it a couple times. Oh, we're done with liquid. So we now have 256 buckets of liquid, of lava. So that's pretty much what I wanted to do, was get the lava and fill up that drum. So we can just pick everything up here, make sure it doesn't go in the lava. And there we go, we have our lava, and then I'll head back up and then we'll talk about the next step. Okay, we are back now, and so we've gotten our drum full of our lava, and the next thing we want to do is work on this Igneous Extruder. And so what this does is it takes water and lava, and you can make obsidian. So you can automate obsidian. And so let's make the Igneous Extruder, which I've already went ahead and made the components for it. 2 Invar gears, 1 machine frame, redstone reception coil, some glass, a piston, and then we can make this. Then we need to put it down in a place that's going to have power. So I'll just drop it over here for now. And actually we're really close to that water, so it's going to be really good that we have both of these in the same place. And so we can switch the modes to different things. We can go stone, cobble, or obsidian. And depending on which one we pick is how much it's going to use up of the water and of the lava. So let's make a hole and get the pipe ran to here. So one thing you do want to note is that whenever you are working with lava, you don't want to use the regular fluid ducts. you actually want to use the hardened flux ducts, because as you can see, these are actually made to transfer contents at any temperature. So any contents at any temperature, whereas these are only made, it says will break if contents are extremely hot or cold. So they are designed for water and other room temperature liquids. But we're not going to use conduit or fluid ducts for anything but water right here. So we actually need 2 more. And let's just configure this all right here. So we want to make the back input and top input. And we'll make some more. So fluid duct. And we should be getting water now. Yep. So we have a tank for water, and we have a tank for lava. And so let's drop the lava on top. And that should now be going in after we auto import. Unavailable. Well, I think you have to get an augment for that. So we will have to make a hardened flux or fluid duct, which is just invar and lead. And I think I have enough invar. We'll see. Yeah, okay. So there we go. We have the hardened ones now. This can go back. This can go back. And we'll probably need a servo, because we're piping out of a non-thermal expansion device. We have a servo. And let's break this. Fill this in back here. And let's put our servo down, and we can automate this, and there we go. We have the automation of Obsidian now. So we have the ability to make our nether portal. And there is an easy way to do this, and so if you're not into thermal expansion and this method, you could do it a slightly more manual way, where you actually get, a lava set up like this, but you put it in here. So we can put a bucket of lava. I think you have to add it to these. Yeah. So we have lava in there, and then we can get some water. And so you can make a couple of these smeltery drains, and then you could pipe in liquids into both of these, smeltery drains that you would make, and then it makes obsidian, and then you just get the obsidian poured in here, and it will harden, and you'll have what you need. So what we're going to do actually is actually make the next thing. So we have an Igneous Extruder, we have auto obsidian. Now we need an obsidian toolkit upgrade. And so that will require us to go back into Tinkers for a time where we actually make a upgrade. So here are the sharpening kits, is what they are. And we need an obsidian one. And what this will do is this will let us make our tool a mining level of cobalt. And so cobalt is the highest mining level you can get. And so we need to make one of these, which will require 2 blocks of obsidian and then a sharpening kit cast. So let's make a sharpening kit that... Is there a wooden version? Yeah, so we can make a wooden sharpening kit. So let's grab some wood. Let's make the sharpening kit cast. Is this it? Yeah. And how do I get this back in here? I think it's put it in here. Let's switch this out to the sharpening kit. Let's make a wooden one. And then let's put it here. And I think I have some aluminum brass left. Nope, I don't. Okay, I will make a few. So I'm going to need some aluminum, which is here. 3 and 1 copper. So we're going to make a cast pattern. Then we'll get our other obsidian. Oops, I just grabbed all these. Okay, so let's make this. This will smelt up. And I'll come back when this is done. Okay, and we are back in the obsidian blocks melted. We need 2. We now pour in our sharpening kit. Let it harden. And there we go. We now have an obsidian sharpening kit. Okay, so the good news about this is we have our obsidian sharpening kit and we have 1 modifier left. And then we apply the flint. You need to have flint with it. And we still have 1 modifier left. But we now have fortified obsidian. So it doesn't use up a modifier. It just increases our mining level to the level that the sharpening kit is at, which is cobalt. And so this is the highest level that we need. And so we now have the highest tier of mining for our obsidian, for our pickaxe. And we could do the same thing with our hammer as well. So it's so I'll get this going, and then in the meantime we'll work on the next step. So I'll just put, oh, it only uses 1. Okay, so it actually only uses 1 because it's a block. That's right. There actually are ingots. You can actually make obsidian ingots, and so a block counts as 2 parts. So we'll let this sharpening kit harden. We really only need it for our mining tools. We don't really need it for our shovel or our sword. And so we'll just apply it then, since it's already made. There we go. We need to get a flint, which I always tend to forget with these. And there we go. We have obsidian fortified for both of these. And this one has, so we can now mine up cobalt with both of these. Okay, we also have our obsidian, and so now we can actually make our portal. And so for the portal, I need to think long term here, because I want it to be inside of the area I'm going to be in. And if the base is going to come out to about right here, come all the way through here to up there, we can probably put it back here somewhere. So let's just put it back here. I will dig out an area, and we will have a place for our portal. And so I'm just going to have to dig out. I want it to be at 64, at wide level 64. And I want it to go up kind of against the mountain there. We don't need to be right up against the mountain, but pretty close. I'll dig out a place, and then I will come back when I'm done. Okay, I am back, and I dug out a space for the portal. And I also went back and put some stuff away and made a flint and steel, which I think, I didn't have before. And so we now have us a portal. And I got some stone to build with. Let's see, when we go in here, we're going to look for cobalt, ardite, and then some magma rock. And so we will explore and look for some objects that we're going to need. And if I find a nether fortress, that would also be very nice. So I'm going to get my builder's wand, so I'm going to need to build stuff fast in case I am in an open area. So here we are, off to the nether. Okay, we are here, and we are in a very open spot. Okay, so I'm going to have to build up before we start getting hit with fireballs. So let's build up here. So I will build this up and I will come back when I'm done. Okay, I am done building, and what I'm going to do is actually bookmark this. So you hit the B key, and that's the default key for waypoints. Then I'm going to just put portal. Let's make it a color. Well, yellow's fine. Let's make it a bright yellow. There we go. We can see our portal. So now if we ever travel far enough away, at least we'll know where to go. Definitely want to do this whenever you get to a new dimension. It'd probably be pretty hard to get back out of it if you didn't bookmark and got lost. I'm going to grab some of these trees. And so we're going to look for our goals. So I want to upgrade my tools to the next tier, which is going to be Manilian. And Manilian tools have a lot of durability. So I'm just going to need a little bit of cobalt and ardite. Knock these down. Nope, I hear a ghast. So killing one of those would be nice too. Let me finish this up now that the tree's gone. Okay. Alright, I'm not sure where he's at, but we do have our jetpack on, so we can fly with our ring. And I think I did get an update, and I think it turned on auto jump again. Okay, we are actually now on pack 1.2 for the version, and so every time that happens, I do have to reset some settings. I don't know, I mean, I think it's default Minecraft setting to have jump auto enabled, but we do have our jetpack, and there we go, our propulsion ring. And so I'm just going to go around and grab some of this stuff around here, and we can actually work on or show you the pendant. So I'm on fire, I'm not on fire. I'm on fire, I'm not on fire. So that's the ability of the pendant that we have. That's why I like making that before I actually get here, because it definitely is helpful. Okay, so I'm going to go around, and I won't go too far, but I'll try to explore and look for a fortress. And in the meantime, I'm going to grab up some resources. Mostly, I want to grab up the cobalt and ardite that I find. So cobalt's the blue stuff on my crosshair, and then ardite's the yellow stuff. And I probably won't go for those specifically. And then the magma rock as well, which is right here. And the reason why I want the magma rock is because if you look at the recipes you can make from it, you can actually get these magma creams from it. And so we can convert that into magma creams. Using the... Is it not working anymore? Oh, okay, pulverizer. And from there we can convert this using the centrifugal separator into slime balls and blaze powder. So we're going to need blaze powder very soon to make things. So essentially, if we get a bunch of these, we'll have a good supply of blaze powder, which you can also convert into the blaze rods. So if we don't find a blaze spawn, we have a backup way of getting blaze powder. So that's why I usually grab this stuff when I'm in the nether. Alright, I will be back shortly. Okay, I killed a ghast and got a challenge completed. And I want to show you these creepers here in the nether. They are red, and they are actually like super creepers. They will explode twice as much as a normal creeper. So you want to be careful of these guys, and they blow up faster than normal creepers. I didn't know they were in this mod pack, but there they are. And so you want to keep away from them, even though they are smiling. And I'll show you how fast they blow up. Yeah, look at that. That's another reason why I wanted to have armor like this on, just in case we encountered some new mobs that I was not expecting. Okay, and I am back, and I actually found a fortress, and it's not too far away. I'm 146 blocks from my portal there, and here is the fortress. And it looks to be a pretty decent one. So we can now grab some things that we need from here as well. And I'm hoping to kill some of these wither skeletons and get some nice items from them. I already hear blaze. I hear blazes going off. Oh, there's a lot of blazes here. Oh yeah. So our pendant is keeping us alive. Alright. Not too sure about the blazes. The blazes aren't going to be that big of an issue with this pendant on. So we can get some of the stuff that we need from them and these guys as well. I do want to get a... Sorry, I'm distracted here. I do want to grab some things from the withers, which is, I think I already have one. Drop of Evil. And as you can see, I have a lot of stuff in my inventory, so I think I'm going to go back and put some stuff away, and then most likely wrap up the episode. Okay, and I am back at my base, and I'll show you what I got. It's a pretty good run. A lot of nether quartz, a lot of glowstone. I got my magma rock, which is what I was looking for, and some cobalt, iodite. So we have all of our goals met. And so that's it. And I also got some extra stuff, but we'll talk about what we're going to do with that in the next episode. So for now, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you learned something. Bye.